With us now is the president of the University of New Haven, Jens Fredericksen. And President Fredericksen, good to see you here on the program.
Well, thank you for having me.
So tell us, what is new in UNH? You are now been president for about a year.
Yeah, it's been almost a year and a half. Feels like a flash. Obviously, exciting time in higher education, turbulent time, and yet I think what's happening at the university is quite inspirational and quite relevant to where we find ourselves.
Let's begin with some of the news this week, and that is a new partnership with Hartford Healthcare. Tell me about that.
Well, so obviously super excited about that. Just signed it today, right? And so obviously Jeff Flax and I had some conversations, and I think sort of what we're looking to do at the university is really deliver a comprehensive experience. I think the expectations of parents and students have changed. We talk frequently about ROI, but ROI is not just academic ROI, it's health and wellness. And so identifying the right partner that sort of thinks one step ahead of where we find ourselves today, I think the need for innovation and sort of entrepreneurial spirit in that space made this a really exciting partnership. So,
what's the student enrollment right now? How many?
So roughly 9,000 students. It was traditionally slightly heavy on the graduate side. Now it's 55% undergrad, 45%,
And where do you want to see that go? You happy with that number, or do you want to grow it?
I'd love to see it grow. I think we've obviously had sort of a long track record on the graduate side of really, but now you're starting to see sort of undergrads that want to continue 4+1 programs. Mm-hmm. So if you're asking me where I would like to sit a couple of years from now, like to sit at if we say the undergraduate body is sort of 4,500 to 5,000 right now, love to get that to 6,000 undergrad, and then remain somewhere in that 3,000, 3,500 grad.
And where are the bulk of your students coming from?
The New England area. I mean, obviously heavy on Connecticut on the undergraduate side. On the graduate side, traditionally been a large international portion, which of course now is sort of decreased a little bit, in some ways more than a little bit, and so that's part of the challenge, is this sort of complete recalibration of the framework for the university.
Connecticut first met you over a year ago on NYBERG, and Ann asked you your goals for the university, and are you on your way to reaching them?
Oh, I think we absolutely are. I mean, in some ways, you're constantly sort of moving the goalpost, right? I think we've obviously had had a very large incoming undergraduate class. We're projected to have an even larger one. We've made some incredible strategic acquisitions of railroad salvage, which was
piece of property adjacent to the campus.
So we're sort of doing two things at once. We're sort of weathering the complex storm of demographic cliffs and the sort of public confidence in higher education, the immediate sort of shoring up the operations of the university, whilst then also keeping a very sort of aggressive, ambitious eye towards growth and opportunities.
So in terms of expanding the actual footprint of the campus, how big do you want that to get?
Well, I mean, I think we're obviously sort of a little bit landlocked, and yet there are certain areas where obviously down on Campbell we have some we own the CVS, right, which we're sort of turning into a community. The community programming that we do at the university in many ways, sort of the private university public mission, that will be the hub for it on that corner, but then really across Campbell all the way down to Railroad Salvage, which is obviously a massive site, and North End Field and behind it.
And one of the big priorities that you say is also housing, right?
Yep.
You need more
Yep.
dorms and things like that. Are you finding more students want to live on campus?
Yes, and in some ways it's part of delivering sort of an enveloping experience, right? You see retention rates, you see participation in campus events. I mean, it's a really complex when you're sort of commuting back and forth to really be, I mean, we have a wonderful commuter population. We've built the new commuter lounge, and that's clearly part and parcel of the identity of the place too. But to really get sort of the full holistic experience that we're talking about with all the different versions of ROI, having students on campus is still crucially important.
Let's talk about athletics for a bit, because really it can help a university become more well known across the whole country. Where do you see the athletics program at University of New Haven?
Well, we've obviously had a sort of brilliant football team over the years.
Well known.
I know, right? And it draws a large crowd, and I think it galvanizes school spirit, and obviously a host of other sports, men's soccer, women's volleyball, have really sort of excelled. I mean, I think that the hard part about college athletics right now is you're sort of seeing these divisions fracture, and everybody's sort of figuring out where you fit. I think for us, I mean, we're a competitive school, right? So you want to win, but you also want to drive school spirit and a sense of belonging and community. And I think athletics is a key piece of that to this campus. Charger Nation, right?
Yes, absolutely. Charge your nation. All right, Jens Fredericksen, the president of UNH. We appreciate you being here with us today. Best of luck.
Thank you.
In the future. And when we come back, a mother shares her pain, hoping to change the law.